All right, happy Friday. We are live. Give it a minute or so that other people can tap in. Hopefully, you guys can hear me and see my screen. Cool. All right. I haven't done a real estate update in a while, and this one's going to be a little different. I'm not really just going to talk about the market update. I'm going to share with you what's going on in real estate, big news, what's been happening, what's been changing, what to expect. I don't know if you've been watching or if you've been tuning in to real estate news and what's going on. There's definitely been some big news happening, some lawsuits that are getting settled by big companies in the tune of $50+ million, $80+ million. I'll share that with you later on. And also, there's been some changes when it comes to inventory, when it comes to prices and interest rates. Things have taken a turn. Things have taken a turn in the real estate market. Cool. I'm gonna give it another minute or so, and then I'm gonna dive in. So we're gonna talk about the lawsuits, but before we talk about the lawsuits, we'll talk about the inventory. We'll talk about the interest rates. I'll share with you how those two relate right now and why it's very important for you to know that. We'll talk about the median sale price, which is very interesting. We'll talk about the sales, the sold price, how long are homes staying on the market, the percent of homes that received price reductions, which are a lot more than most people would expect. I'll share with you what the lawsuits mean, and we'll also talk about if it's a seller's market or a buyer's market in your neck of the woods. Cool. All right, I want to share with you a few graphs here. These are not things I made up. They are um, most are from National Association of Realtors, some from the Pennsylvania Association of Realtors, and some local ones as well. So I'm going to show you, excuse me, stats on a national level. I'm going to show you some state stats of the state that I'm in, and I'm going to show you some local stats. Not too local, really at the county level. I'm not going to get deeper than that right now. But this is pretty interesting. What we're seeing here is a graph that shows the number of homes sold per month, really from August. August is the one on the right here, which is the last month that we closed, and far back to 2019, right? What's really interesting is that you see this graph showing a downturn. We have sold, we're on pace to sell 4 million homes. What does this kind of look like? If you go back in the graph, right, we were selling around 5 million plus homes to begin with. And then we dipped down. This is where when COVID happened, right, in the year 2020, around April. We had the shutdown. So that decreased the number of homes sold, and we dipped down into the 4 million, homes sold mark. And then from then, we sold 6+ million homes a year. This is national. And so let's say 6.5 million homes sold per year. And we have around that 1.5 million realtors, right? So it's really only a handful of deals per realtor. But what's interesting is that the number of sales has been decreasing after that craze. And we're on pace to just do 4 plus million homes sold this year, right? So we're selling a lot less. And as I'm talking to agents in different markets, we're seeing less transactions per agent, right? So less homes are being sold overall, and the agent, most agents are seeing less transactions per agent, right? This shows the median price of existing sales. When it comes to existing sales, one really important thing to know is that when we look at the past numbers, right, like how much homes are we selling and how much are they being sold for, it's important to know that the closed sales took some time to close, right? So the closed sales reported in August, they went under contract maybe in June or July, right? Maybe even some earlier, because it usually takes 30 to 45 days to close a transaction. So these numbers that get reported sold, they essentially went under agreement, were agreed upon a month or two or maybe longer time before. But the national average, the median sale price right now in the United States hovers around $407,000. That's what the stats show us, right? The top right number is the latest number of median sales price, and that hovers around $407,000. If we look at last year, right, around August of last year, we notice it is just slightly lower than the price of last year. And I think a lot of people are expecting the prices to be high, right? And we're setting record numbers, right? So $407,000 for a median sales price is pretty high. But what is very interesting is that when we look at the list price, so what homes are now being listed for, we'll notice a dip. Okay. So what happened is home prices were going up, and then now demand started decreasing because of various reasons, partially the interest rate, which we're going to get to. Excuse me. And what that did, right, when demand decreased, is that now sellers are pricing their homes lower. So in many markets, you're going to see the list prices being lower than last month, and I'll show you some stats on that, right? This shows the home prices change year over year. So what this graph shows in August of 2023, home prices sold for 3.9% higher than the previous year. So we're still selling homes higher than the prior year. So these are national stats. Let me show you some state specific to Pennsylvania here. Excuse me. Most most stats are very in line, right? So when you look at national stats, not exactly the same stats may the same maybe in your market or in your state. You got to look at the state stats, and more so your local market stats to see what's going on in your local market. So we looked at the national. We're going to take a look at the state really quick, and I'm going to show you two counties, and then I'm gonna do a score sheet to kind of see what the pattern is, if they're aligned or not, right? So just because something is going up and down on a national level doesn't mean that your market is being affected in that same way, right? As far as Pennsylvania is concerned, the listings, right, the number of homes being listed for sale is down from the previous month, right? And also down from the prior year. So we're basically 25% lower than prior year. So this time last year, we had 25% more of listings, and we're down month over month. So look at the numbers from the previous years. In year 2020, around August, we had 62,000 listings. Year 2021, 54,000. So we kept decreasing. Year 22, 49,000, and this time 36,000. So year over year, we're seeing a decrease in the number of homes that are coming on the market being offered for sale. Okay. The sales in PA are up from the previous month. So usually a lot of times we see a downturn in August because it's after the summer. People want to move in before school season starts, and usually spring and summer is hot, and then we see a downturn after that. But we have seen an uptick in sales, right, from the previous month in PA. But year over year, the sales are down. Okay. And we look at the median sale price. This is pretty interesting. it's down from the previous month, as I mentioned, right? So prices overall are going up, and when you look at the closed prices, the sold prices, they are up. But when you look at the list prices and what homes are being listed for now, they're less than the prior month. And I'll show you some county information that will go over that as well. So it's pretty interesting that prices are coming down. However, interest rates are not, which I think still presents a challenge. And this shows that we're still in a seller's market. We have 3.47 months supply of inventory. What does this mean? Is that if we stop adding any more homes on the market right now, how long will it take us to get rid of the current inventory of the current homes on the market in the state? It would take us 3.47 month statewide. Now, what's pretty interesting is that usually a balanced market is around the 5 to 6 month range. So if you have 5 to 6 month worth of inventory, you're in a balanced market, right? But that could change based on the area and based on the price points. If you see the price points below here, homes, for example, in the $1 million to $2 million mark have a 7.9 month supply of inventory. So technically, these homes in that price range are in a buyer's market, right? And also, if you look at homes $2 million and up, 17.9 month supply of inventory. So there's definitely a buyer's market in these homes, right? I'm gonna take a look at Berks County and Montgomery County because there are two counties that I border myself. So I thought to give you some stats. Okay, we're taking a look at this one is Berks, right? Cool. So Berks, the number of new listings is up from last month, so that's interesting. But is down again from prior years. So the inventory overall is down. Okay. The new pendings is up from last month, but down from last year. Closed sales up from last month, down from last year, right? So we're seeing an increase, an uptick in sales from the prior month, but compared to last year, they are down, right? Median sale price is down again. So prices are beginning to trend down in certain areas, but they're still higher than the year before. So if you were waiting for prices to come down or to soften up a little bit, you might get your wish. But if you're looking for interest rates to come down, and we'll talk about that, I don't think that's to be expected, right? Very similar here to Chester County, or this is Montgomery County. Okay. New listings are down, new pendings are down, closed sales uptick from last month, but overall down from last year. Um, Montgomery County, however, is still seeing an uptick in prices from last month and from the previous year. So we'll see if the month to month in Montgomery County will change as we get some new data and new closed sales in the system. What's pretty interesting is what's happening with the interest rates. So, recently a lot of people were expecting the interest rates to decrease, to go from the 6.5s to the fives, maybe. However, they're trending in the sevens, and also people thought, okay, well that might be the top of it. Hopefully, we'll start trending down towards the 5.5s, but we're not seeing that, right? The latest expectations is that the interest rates may stay where they are and remain as is kind of towards through the end of the year and increase possibly in the eights. So what does this mean? People who were waiting for interest rates to drop so they can buy, things might not go their direction. But a positive thing about the interest rate is that it might free up more inventory, right? So as interest rates goes up and demand decreases, it opens up more supply. When you talk to people all around the country, they'll tell you that one of the real estate challenges right now is a very limited supply of inventory or inventory shortage. One of the solutions, obviously, is that creating more inventory, or one of the results or byproduct that's going to happen with higher interest rate, we might see more inventory. right? It's pretty interesting to see why people are not buying, and I think this is, if I have it right here, right? A survey of people who want to buy, but why are they not buying? 34% say because there's not enough available homes to buy, right? There's the inventory shortage I'm talking about. 18% are waiting for mortgage rates to drop. Again, we'll have to keep an eye out and see where that goes. 9% waiting for prices to drop. So we're already seeing indicators of pricing softens. People are listing their homes for lesser price than they were a few months ago. Okay, but the interest rate is climbing and is predicted to climb. Hopefully, we do get some more homes on the market. That way, people do have enough supply. Right. Cool. So let me take a look at that score sheet really quick and look at things from a national, state, and county level. Actually, before I do that, let me give you one more example. So here is Berks County, the last 5 years, sold prices and list prices. So sold prices are what homes have sold for, right? List prices is what homes are being listed for. I'm gonna go down here in August 2023. I hope you guys can see that. 246,000 right here. That's the median sold price in this county. Obviously, if you look at the different cities, it's going to differ. If you look at this compared to August 2022, it's higher. So August 2022 is 225 versus August 2023, 246. So we're definitely seeing an increase from the year over year. But if you look through the year, what happened is, right, it kept climbing, right? Overall, kept climbing. In 2023, it went from 229 to 241 to 249, 259. So keeps going up. 259, 265, 269, and bam, right down 246, right? So the median sold price dropped month over month in this county, and I think you'll see similar in a lot of places as well. Same thing with what homes are being listed for, what now sellers are beginning to expect, right? And maybe they're kind of softening their expectations a little bit. You'll see the list prices are also seeing an upward trend throughout the year, and then a decrease from 270 to 255 in this county, right? So real quick, overall, national, state, and local, we're kind of seeing the same thing. The number of sales are down. The level of inventory is down. The median sold price is up. This is year over year. It's up year over year. However, we're beginning to see a downtrend month over month. The median list price is down. Like as I showed you, the days on market is we're beginning to see that soften a little bit in most markets, right? Month supply of inventory is down. We're still facing an inventory shortage. The number of new listings is down. The interest rate is up. Price reductions is up. National average right now, price reduction is 36%. So that means a little over a third of the homes that are going on the market are then seeing a price reduction, which is a great opportunity for buyers to buy without necessarily the competition of multiple offers. Right, so definitely keep an eye out on price reduced homes. It's something that I have already created. So if you'd like a list of price reduced homes in your market, just comment or message me. All right, let's talk about the lawsuits for a second. What does that mean? So here's a National Association of Realtors article. Remax settles claims and compensation lawsuit. I'll read to you for a second, right? Remax, one of several brokerages named in the lawsuit, agreed to pay $55 million to resolve all claims. The news comes 2 weeks after another defendant, Anywhere Real Estate, formerly known as Realogy, settled for $83.5 million. Right. Um, Let me read to you another part here. The lawsuits claim that NAR rules violate antitrust laws and inflate the fees paid to buyers' agents by requiring listing agents to compensate a buyer agent for listing a property. So, how it usually works, right? In real estate, the listing brokerage collects a total commission, and out of that total commission, they split that commission or they give a portion of it to the buying brokerage. Okay. There was lawsuits then claimed that in doing so, you're forcing or requiring the seller to pay for the buying agency's compensation. And some people feel that the buyer should pay for that, not the seller. That's where these lawsuits came from. And that's why, it led to these companies settling for 55 plus and 83 plus $1 million. Another part here, it says that the companies denied the allegations, right? But it also commits to changing its business practices and no longer requires seller to pay the buyer's agent commission. Anywhere Realty or Real Estate, the parent company of Coldwell Banker, Century 21, Sotheby's, also agreed to the same business practices. And we're seeing other institutions like the MLS also adopt different business practices. So, what does this mean to the consumer? What does this mean to the agent and the brokers? For brokers and agents, we really have to get trained on the buyer's agent, right, requesting commission from their buyers, or at the very least, educating the buyer on how the commissions work. And in the case that there is no listing, um, you know, there is no commission from the listing broker, what happens in that case? What options do the broker and the buyers have? Okay. For consumers, it's always know that commission is negotiable. One word that realtors and brokers should know when it comes to commissions, that commission is negotiable. So whether you are a seller, whether you are a buyer, ask about, what is the compensation, what is the commission, what gets paid out and to who, and feel free to negotiate that with the person or the firm that represents you, right? Cool. And NAR also said that these lawsuits are far from over, right? Real estate compensations lawsuits are far from over. So stay tuned. We'll see what's happening with these lawsuits. What does this mean to realtors and brokers' business practices? What does this mean to sellers and buyers? I think we'll see more regulations unfold in the months to come. Right now in the market, again, what we are seeing is overall sales are down. Overall, we're seeing less inventory, less homes on the market. Prices have been going up, right? And we're kind of setting, in some markets records for the median sale prices, but we are seeing a downtick in prices, right? So list prices are beginning to come down, which hopefully is good for some people, but interest rates are up and they continue to go up, unlike a lot of people's expectations that they were going to decrease. And we're seeing a big number of price reduced homes. About a third of the homes going on the market are being reduced in price. Right? Hopefully you guys found this valuable. If you did, whether you're watching the live or you watch the recording, please comment below or send me a message. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you would like to see, maybe that I didn't include, and maybe I'll do more of these in the weeks to come. All right. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend.